Hey people, Infantry 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side. It's GuruSkippy as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control up against Along Came a Spider with an Eversor assassin. Risk-reward brawler that can explode on death, fights mainly in melee combat. Very curious to see this guy go up against perhaps some Chaos Space Marines with his default weapon and Psychon active. His default weapon, I believe, is 40 melee DPS, so the same as the Force Commander's Chainsword. I believe they call his weapon a Chain Machete, which is awesome. Can't quite see it there, it's stuck into the node. He also has a faster charge range than normal. I think it's like Purifies 15 instead of 12, and he can make that even longer with some of his war gear. He also has a tier 1 war gear, Sin Skin Body Glove. I think it's 25 power. Let me see here. Yeah, 110-25, which makes Psychon only cost 50 health and last 4 seconds more. 12 instead of 8. I was kind of surprised to see Psychon also give the damage resistance buff. I guess it was tested early and seen as a bit lackluster, taking the health and just giving a damage bonus. My gut tells me that this is an ability that's going to need to be looked at some point. Here we see it. Psychon goes up, and heretics just die in droves. Surprised they only lost 2 models there. They got away. So a 30% damage bonus on 40 DPS is what? 52 DPS? Yeah, it turns it into a 52 DPS weapon. But also that damage resistance bonus, that's the thing. Early melee squads are really going to struggle against this guy. The big downside of the Eversor Assassin, of course, is that he's got no support. And he doesn't really have a way to deal with suppression. I mean, not all melee heroes do have a direct way to deal with it, but most of them have some kind of charge or a shield or something. Eversor has none of that, so suppression is going to be a great tool to control this guy. So perhaps we'll see some Havocs from GuruSkippy. Some Havocs would do good, I think. And then Along Came a Spider would have to respond with interceptors or something, or maybe grenade launchers. And then he can play around that. Heretics bashing power here. And Heretics here run away from the garrison. I don't think they'll get it. Or maybe they will. Strike squad coming in here. These guys got some changes, of course. They're now kind of a support melee unit. They now begin with a melee charge and a melee special, but they no longer get those upgrades, the Nemesis Focus and the Cybolt ammunition. They do start with Purification though, which is handy. You can also get that tier 1 smite type thing, which is fun. Eversor caps the mid. It's Raptors for GuruSkippy. Goes against one of the fiercest brawlers with a jump melee squad. We'll see how that goes. Bear in mind that this could be the first time GuruSkippy is ever playing against the Eversor Assassin. He might have read the notes once and then this is it. Fight an Eversor. So, judge some of his decisions and stuff on that. Might not know what to do against that guy. Here are your Raptors. Oh, we have interceptors on the way too. Okay. Raptors jumping in, getting that suppression, making the strike squad flee. Here comes the Eversor though. Not popping his Psychon here. Not yet anyway. Gets a special and runs. But Chaos should be able to cap up the mid here. So interceptors. Let's see these guys. They have the same health as Assault Marines. Yes, they cost the same as Assault Marines. But they have the DPS of Raptors. So they have 30 DPS instead of 25. Downside for those guys is that they do not disrupt or snare or control or anything with their jump, unlike Raptors and Assault Marines. Also have to wait to tier 3 to get any kind of anti-vehicle stuff. Assault Marines get their Melter Bomb in tier 2, and Raptors of course get their big old Demon Maul thing. I think they're pretty well positioned at the moment. The Furious Intervention is really fun too. Teleport that knocks stuff flying. Just looks aggressive when you use that thing. Decent Doom Bolts from the Sorcerer. Is he going to stand and fight? Moves away, then retreats. They don't want to take retreat hits. Interceptors on the hunt. Eversor on the hunt has found some Raptors. That long charge range should make him a really good chaser, this guy. And there's that Chain Machete Is that a real thing? That sounds awesome. East side is being taken. And those guys, those Raptors did get a decap here. Done okay so far, mitigating the damage of this guy. The sheer damage he can put out. So really starts to ramp up in tier 2 when you start using his globals and stuff. Oh, beautiful grenade from the Stormtroopers. That's that no fuse grenade, really devastating to heretics. Somehow, wow, 94 hit points, 7 models. Favourite of Tzeentch for sure. We got Eternal War up on the CSM. That's going to help them trying to focus down this Eversor. Because once he uses that Psychon, you have a decision to make. Do you try and take advantage of him losing 100 health and try and get some damage in, or do you try and control and avoid him? There's going to be cases, this is why Psychon's a little bit weird, there's going to be cases where there's going to be so much damage on the field that it's going to be better to take the 100 damage and then get the 30% damage resistance afterwards for the 8 seconds or the 12 seconds or whatever it is from your war gear. Gonna go down here, and there's that explosion on death. It does 20 damage, I believe, which is bad news for those heretics. Knocks them down too. When he uses the bio meltdown, it's listed as being 75 damage. I don't know if that stacks on top of the 20 that it starts with, or if it just becomes 75 instead of 20. I would think that it replaces it, but you never know, it might stack up. That would be nasty if it does. Yeah, bio meltdown would be really powerful against heretics and stuff. Interceptors teleporting in, getting some hits. Tier 2 around about the same time. You know, a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought would be pretty damn good here. The Eversor Assassin doesn't really have an anti-vehicle weapon. He does not want to fight a melee walker, and they'll also tear through the interceptors. These guys can get a Psych Out grenade in tier 2. I'm not sure if it's part of the oh, they killed the sorcerer, well done. If it's part of the Justicar upgrade or if it's separate. I think it's part of it. You just saw them get purification from the Strat squad to be able to jump there. Good play from Along Came a Spider. Hits the tier 2, so does GuruSkippy. GuruSkippy slightly more resources. Not that far away from starting Dreadnought production. What, a 450, 110 or 120 or something? Heretics with a Doom Blast and a Flea. Get out of there. Interceptors will stand and fight. It's a dicey engagement. It's always dicey, isn't it? Sending your tier 1 melee squad, even if you're in tier 2, against aspiring champion heretics. Because if you just drop one model, you probably lost out economically. Heretics so cheap to reinforce, and your interceptors really aren't. Here we see the Eversor using Psychon a little bit earlier there. I think you want to be in amongst it before you pop that thing. I'd rather see it, thematically speaking, give him a damage boost and like a tiny mobility boost, like 0.5 speed or something. I mean, we'll see how it goes. That 30% damage resist, I just fear it's going to make him just too strong in those opening engagements against the melee squads. Going to really need to focus on controlling this guy. He's meant to be scary though, he's meant to be a brawler. So it does make sense. Maybe if it gave him a little bit of health regen instead or something. Because, you know, he's using a combat drug, he's like blocking out the pain, I suppose. It's very similar actually to the ability I wrote for the Slaneshi hero that I designed. Same name as well. I guess they decided to use it for the Eversor. Heretics have found some isolated stormtroopers. They do have plasma guns. They both have plasma guns? No. And no upgrades for the Strat squad, by the way. No Justicar. And we haven't seen the Tomes of Titan. Interceptor's Justicar is in. I believe he has a power weapon. It's like a 30 DPS power weapon. When they were a tier 3 unit, that guy got a... It was like 38 DPS power weapon or something, or maybe 40 even. But now they're a tier 1 unit. He gets a good old 30 DPS power, which I assume is the same as the Assault Marine Sergeant. I'm not actually sure. Raptors here with their heavy melee Demon Maul going after the Rhino. We do see... Oh, it's a Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought, really. I thought we were going to see Mark of Corn with some warp shenanigans. These guys are going in. That was a grenade. Going to be a big old retreat, but the Raptors got away quite clean. Heretics did not. When do Heretics ever get away clean? They blow themselves up. Eversor Assassin just got into a fight. Oh, did he kill the Sorcerer? I completely missed that. Too busy talking about stuff. Oh, look at this. It's gone for the improved Neuro Gauntlet. This is 30 power, I believe, to purchase. 80 DPS melee. It's just made to mince things. It also does damage over time. And as you can see at the bottom there, does not perform special attacks. It does not waste time with fancy swirling animations to knock things down. It's just made to kill. Really cool weapon. There's that furious intervention from the Interceptors, knocking down the Heretics. But here comes the Dreadnought. It's going to go after the Rhino. This missile launcher is so inaccurate when it's moving though. Oh, hit 3 there, or 2 there. Surprised if it only hits 1. Wow. It hit all of those, I think. Only hit 1 that time. That's what you'd expect to see. Can he get 1 more? Hit nothing there. And then targets the Stormtroopers. It gets away, does it? It's got to go in and finish it off, surely. Vindicare Assassin on the way for a long tamer spider. No, does not go in and finish it. You know what? He might not have seen it. He might have thought it was gone because he couldn't see it from where he was. Big misplay from GuruSkippy. Should have gone in and finished that thing. Meanwhile, big old melee fight. This is where the Eversor Assassin thrives. Just wiped out the Raptors, did he? No, there's one left, but Interceptors get in there and finish him off. That Raptor be dead. And look at this. Cybernetic Enhancement. Gives him Rapid Reflex. Cool ability. So it lowers the ability cooldowns. I don't know if that's passive or it's only when he pops the rapid reflex. I think it's when he pops it. He just used it there. So it gives him ability cooldowns and heals him for 10 per second for 10 seconds. So basically, the idea, I think, oh, down it goes, is you use Psychon, you lose 100 health, you immediately pop rapid reflex. You get that 100 health back over time, and it reduces the cooldown for your next Psychon. So he can go mental again. There's that Vindicare then getting turbo penetrate round shots. Now he's switched to Exitus to shoot the infantry. Need to be careful with that guy. 350 hit points will go down super fast if under prolonged fire. So how does GuruSkippy respond now? Still has the Rhino to deal with. Certainly knows it's alive now. They could go tier 3 and get Terminators. I don't think you'd want a tank, because the Rhino and the Vindicare, you're getting out anti-vehicle. Unless this thing can survive, of course. It's going after it again. The Vindicare's there, switching to Turbo Penetrator. Oh, he just used target acquired, gives it more range, the Vindicare, and reveals the target. The Sorcerer here needs to run away so he can use warp. He's getting closer, this is bad. Needs to run away and warp it off. He's going to lose the Dreadnought here, I think. Oh, misfire. Rhino shot the wrong target, now shoots the right target. And the Dreadnought is dealt with. Oh, here's the Eversor Assassin, he's got the Bio Meltdown active. Oh man, just wiped out some heretics for GuruSkippy. Was not even watching that, they were there. Yeah, Bio Meltdown is nasty. Got the kill. So Bio Meltdown is a tier 2 global for 150 red. It drains the health of the Eversor Assassin, but it does damage nearby units. Is it all units or just enemy units, actually? Let me see if I can find this global. Here it is, 150 red. Takes 10 damage per second for 30 seconds, but is surrounded by a 15 radius damage aura, dealing 12 piercing every second to all other infantry units. You need to be careful when you're using that. Also, when you leave his aura, you still take a little bit of damage for 3 seconds, and you get your speed reduced slightly. And when he dies, if it's active when he dies, does a big old 75 explosive damage and knocks things over. Pretty fun. This guy knows how to kill stuff. GuruSkippy is down to just 3 units. Get some bloodletters up. These guys should do some good work against the Interceptors and the Strat Squad. The interceptors now have their psych out grenade. I don't know if I noticed that being there when they got their Justicar, so maybe it is a separate purchase. Bloodletters teleporting in. They'll do a lot of damage to interceptors. There's a psych out though, look at that. I believe it suppresses you and drains your energy. You can't suppress bloodletters, but it did drain your energy. Heretics barely getting away. Chaos Space Marines ripping up some stormtroopers. Do they want to fight interceptors? I guess not. They do have Mark of Khorne. Gives them power melee chain axes. These guys are level 3 though, the interceptors. Eversor's up to level 4 with that cybernetic enhancement and the awesome Neuro Gauntlet. Now going to bash power, and this thing could bash power pretty good. I mean, a las cannon on such a mobile platform is certainly useful for bashing power. It only costs 75 requisition to get this las cannon too. In tier 3, you can upgrade the Rhino with lots of extra armor. It's expensive. I think it's like 40 power, which would take it up to. It's still only a total cost of 90 power. You know, I think it comes out for 50. 285.50, I think. And then the las cannon 75 rec, and then you get the upgrade that gives it. I think it's 300 more hit points, and it improves the damage of the las cannon. It makes it really powerful, almost a tank basically. And here we see a tank on the way for GuruSkippy, and I think it's a bad decision because we have the Vindicare, turbo penetrator rounds, and the Rhino, which can certainly hold its own against a tank. It's going to get out anti-vehicle here unless he can get some of these guys in on the Vindicare, not let it shoot. But look at this, along came a spider, goes tier 3, so we might see the upgrade for the Rhino. I think it's 300. It will take it up to 875, is that right? If that's right. That's pretty nuts. 40 power is a lot, but I think it's still pretty good value, you know. Still pretty good value, especially considering, you know, you benefited from this thing throughout the game, or since tier 2. There's so much versatility. Bloodletters going after the Vindicare, sorry. They get rid of it. Psych out grenade misses. Interceptors take a lot of damage. Tank is going after that Rhino. Has not gone for Mark of Tzeentch yet. Might just go for Mark of Khorne. Doing some good damage with it, that's for sure. Interceptors persuaded to leave. Bloodletters having to warp shift out. There's that las cannon doing its thing. Oh look, we have the reinforced armor plating here. 300 health and 25% more damage to its las cannon. I don't know where that leaves the las cannon in terms of, you know, predator tank las cannons. I don't think it certainly doesn't do it as much damage, but it's still a really good unit. 875 hit points. Look at that at level 2 for what, 90 power I think altogether. Seems really powerful. We don't want another situation like you know, Orc tank busters, where it's like, hey, never get an early vehicle against these guys because you're gonna lose that fight. The Rhino's 50 power to come out, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm certainly not a 1v1 expert. Don't see any mark on the Predator tank. Tons of red. I think they should have got Terminators. Just get Terminators with claws, and then the las cannon on this thing is kind of wasted. I mean, it can still hit Terminators reasonably well, but you've kind of played into his hand here. And we do see Mark of Tzeentch on the way. 35 power. Another 35 power to get this las cannon. Some infiltration there. Where's the Vindicator? The Vindicator's in play. And it's gone in a bit too early. There's nothing in place to get the Vindicator, although it's not even using its turbo penetrator rounds. Look at the damage from the Rhino here. That's 3 shots. At level 2. 4 shots. Does it kill it in 5 shots? You can see the Chaos Predator's certainly doing more damage per shot, but has less health and goes down. Man. And that's expensive. That's 35 power to Mark of Tzeentch. Rhino does get dealt with by the Mark of Khorne CSM, but yeah, I think maybe they should have a look at that Rhino again. Some of its costings seem a little bit generous. Because these days, of course, Ordo Malleus have basically las cannon devastators. They have the conversion beamer. They have the Vindicator. They have interceptors that can get Psy cannons in tier 3. They have decent anti-vehicle. They don't need like a really super generously priced Rhino with a las cannon anymore, I don't think. Let's mark target on these guys, or what? Target acquired, I think it's called actually. Mark target is the tech marine thing. Lots of bodies in the mid. Let's have a look at this Eversor. He's down. Level 5 gets repurchased. Wasn't actually paying attention to that guy. He's got the friends on. This costs 40 power. 150, 40 I believe. You've got 200 health, some health regen, and a little bit of energy. Gives him friends on. Suppression immunity, knockback immunity, and damage resistance. But he does lose health per second. You can make this guy so insane. If you pop Psychon, pop friends on, pop Bio Meltdown, he'll be losing tons of health, but he'd be doing so much damage, have damage resistance, and you could pop. He's got another global called Hyper Metabolism, which gives him health regen and energy regen. And I think something else maybe? I need to look it up. Where is it? Hyper Metabolism is tier 1, 100 red. 2 energy per second, 5 health per second. Yeah, but at the end of it, he takes more damage. So it is certainly risk reward. But you can make him so strong in short periods, which is a really cool design, I think. It's exactly what the Eversor Assassin should be. We do have some Terminators now for GuruSkippy. Chaos Space Marine is capping the west side again. I must say this is the first time, perhaps, that GuruSkippy is ever seeing this guy. So he's learning along with us. There's Psychon against some Mark of Khorne CSM. They were already low, but he's just tearing through them here with the Neuro Gauntlet. Look at this. Oh, did have some support from an from a Vindicator, who for some reason retreated. Oh, did he see the Chaos Sorcerer? He's pretty mean, this guy, this Eversor Assassin fella. Did he use the rapid reflex then? I don't think so. Can also use rapid reflex, of course, to just counter the health drain of Bio Meltdown, because it's exactly the same, I think. Although this only lasts 10 seconds, and Bio Meltdown is 30. But yeah, you really can make this guy a berserker. We have Grey Knight Terminators on the way for a long came a spider, and they will rip through the Chaos Terminators unless they get claws, in which case they win the fight again. And I think they should, because it's an all-infantry army here for Along Came a Spider. Maybe they're afraid of the potential Land Raider Crusader coming up and having nothing to deal with it. Havocs are a dicey purchase as well because of the Interceptors. Level 4 Interceptors. Oh, they've got Psy Cannons now. They don't seem to be holding them. Oh, does it mean that they can switch to them whenever they want? Back when they were tier 3? Wow. If that's the case, I guess it must be the case. So they're not holding any Psy Cannons right now. Unless they're just wrist mounted, I don't think so. Triple cap here for GuruSkippy, 63 to 144. Despite some misplays here and there in a very strong Eversor Assassin. They're not doing too badly. Triple cap. Level 3 Chaos Space Marines. The Sorcerer is also level 3 with the Rod of Warp Fire, just looking after this VP here, can knock anything off the cap. And we have Autocannon Chaos Terminators. Here's your Grey Knight Terminators. Splash damage, Nemesis Force Halberds. It's a scary melee force here. Interceptors can get in and disrupt stuff, allow the Terminators to get in. Vindicators firing from a distance. These guys have a plasma guns. Strike Squad with their support, of course. And this guy, who's found a sorcerer and kills him in short order thanks to that awesome Neuro Gauntlet. How much does this cost? I think it's 35 power, or it's 30. It's well priced. 30 power to mince things. Here come Bloodletters. They want to fight. They'll do really good damage with their power melee. Level 6 Eversor is getting chopped up here. Does realise and maybe gets away. I think it got away. Could have tried teleporting after them maybe. 63 to 41 now, a 2-to-1 for GuruSkippy. Got some Tzeentch worship. Those Grey Knight Terminators, of course, have really changed things. And along came a Spider has tons of red for nukes and Eversor tricks. Also has a global that mark tier 2 for 150 red to reveal all enemy units on the map for 10 seconds. It's not bad. That was Rod of Warpfire doing its thing there. Heretics did what they could. Robes of Torment for the Sorcerer could also do with the Tome of Subjugation, of course. Turn those Terminators onto the Interceptors if you can. There's the Chains of Torment. And these guys can rip in some range damage and a nuke. The Imperial Abyss. I think the Terminator should have been firing upon the Interceptors there. They're quite low and they were quite bunched up. They were instead firing on the Terminators. The orbital bombardment misses. Interceptors able to just tank the edge of the nuke there and get the cap. 63 to 35. GuruSkippy now down to 3 units. Bloodletters were lost along the way. Not sure where they went down because how could I possibly know? Eversor Assassin got level 6. Terminators giving their unholy lives for a cap here. I think they were trying to teleport away, but they get taken out. That's probably GG for GuruSkippy. Goes for a Chaos Predator now. Oh, Grey Knight Terminators may go down. 28 hit points. You guys should have stayed and fought them. It's another misplay from GuruSkippy. Should have finished off the Rhino and should have finished off those guys. Gets them with a Doombolt. When was the last time you saw any Terminator variant taken out with Doombolts? That was awesome. And here are the Interceptors switched to their Psy Cannons. I really was not aware that they could still switch between them when they purchased it. That's a lot of versatility for those guys. Level 7 Eversor Assassin now. Just popping Psycon all over the place. Has 1124 hit points, so it's not that much of a big deal for him anymore to lose that 100, especially since you do get that damage resistance. I think that maybe needs to be rethought. We'll see how it goes in the long run. This is only a single 1v1 that I've seen. And as I said, GuruSkippy did make some misplays in, I think, composition with that tank coming out, the first one, and not finishing off that Rhino when he could have. But hey, no one plays perfect. Well, the game would never end. Vindicator's been awesome. Level 4 this guy. We have more Grey Knight Terminators on the way. The Eversor, of course, does not have access to Paladins. That's only the Brother Captain. What's this? It's Interceptors capping 51 to 17. GuruSkippy is very close to victory. In fact, may yet get to victory here. Here I am saying that they've made some mistakes and stuff. And that things seem very strong. But GuruSkippy's winning. Now has a tank. Can the Psy Cannons do their job here? It is getting repairs. That's a lot of damage. That's a hell of a lot of damage. Holy crap. And the Vindicator gets the kill. Yeah, Ordo Malleus have some serious anti-vehicle capabilities now. Chains of Torment. Uses it to smack them. And here come the Grey Knight Terminators. 46 to 17 on the VPs. Heretics giving it a good go. Might want to go after the Stormtroopers though. Oh, they're going for the cap. They're not going to get it. They're going to take so much damage from the Terminators here. Oh, Sorcerer went down. Here come more Bloodletters. GG, says GuruSkippy. They think it's all over, and it could well be. They got the cap. They've got the 2-to-1. But for how long here? They have the Warrior Acolyte. Still gives them the awesome Fanaticism ability. Giving them a couple of seconds of immunity. Overpowered AV, says GuruSkippy. With hotfix, I could have kept this tank alive. I'm not sure what exactly they think should be hotfixed. Maybe the Rhino? Or is it the interceptors able to switch guns? Is that not intended? I'm not sure. Stupid AV right now. Says along came a spider. 44-7. 2-1 for the Eversor assassin. Yeah, yeah. Look, GuruSkippy thought they got the Rhino because they couldn't see it. Needed to just march forward a little bit more. Could have been a very different game if they got that kill. But even then, look, got it pretty damn close. It was well played by GuruSkippy. He's a very, very experienced player, this guy. You know, fought through the adversity. Fought through it. Yeah, this commander when upgraded is a freaking beast indeed. And look at that, GuruSkippy lost the game and he was well mannered at the end. A lesson for you all. Don't be a dick. Let's look at his heroes. Level 5 Sorcerer had the Rod of Warpfire and Chains or Robes of Torment, and a level 8 Eversor Assassin. Kicked some ass, died a few times, had a hell of a night. Had some fun. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.